So let's talk about discipline and few points about it. Early in your career as a dentist, you will have this inner voice in your head that will keep trying to talk to you to do the wrong thing in the wrong time. I want you to make sure you shut this voice early on in your career, because if you don't control this voice in the first year or two of your career, you will build your whole profession and your whole career with bad habits. I'll give you an example. You're doing your class 2 fillings, composite filling. You've got your gingival margin of your cavity, you put your matrix band, you put your wedge, and you can see this tiny gap between the matrix band, the wedge, and the cavity. And you can see just slight oozing of saliva or slight oozing even of bleeding into the cavity after you etch and bond. Well, this voice will tell you, you know what, just clean it, dry it, just put the filling, just go ahead and do it. Or just leave this little overhang. You can clean it at the end. This voice is trying to make things easy for you, but it will drift you in the wrong direction. If you don't kill this voice early in your career, it will haunt you all your life and it will take you down. You will have a very average career all your life, basically, and you'll have patients coming back with problems. So what you do sometimes with voice is you go ahead and you finish your filling, and of course you cannot cover yourself. You tell the patient, oh, this cavity is a little bit deep, I'm not sure if it will work or not, and you write in your notes, advise the patient there is a high chance this filling can fail if there are any signs of pain or sensitivity to return back and to get it investigated. Of course, cover yourself and saying all this, all this bullshit basically in the notes. But you need to have discipline. The discipline is, okay, I can get this. You keep trying and you keep trying. If you have to laser the gum off or toughen it somehow or put some TCA, control this, or cover your wedge with some sort of Teflon, you need to keep trying to get the right gingival margin. And if you can't, you tried everything and you can't, you stop and you put a temporary filling there. You put your Fuji, it takes you 5 minutes, or Khaled, it will take you 2 minutes. Let the patient go home and ask for help. Ask someone more experienced to help you. How can you achieve this? But the little voice is telling you, hey, are you going to talk to the patient about that? You're going to put some temporary on the patient. Patient's not going to be happy. Now you have to tell them all this information. The little voice is trying to get you to cut corners. You're doing your crown prep and you take your impression. You can see this little air bubble. And you know what? I'll send it to the lab. I'll just write to the lab. Can you please just trim this air bubble in the model and do the best you can with the margin? You get your crown back because the lab will try to be creative. If it's a good lab, they will tell you, piss off, I'm not going to do that. But you're trying to be creative. And then you insert the crown and you can see there's tiny marginal gap. And of course, I'll just seal it, the voice tell you, just seal it with some cement there. And of course, you write in the notes, inform the patient that it was very hard to get a good margins crown because of their large tongue and they move saliva. Whatever bullshit story you will make, your inner voice will help you make. And you just put the crown in. You have to have discipline, enough discipline to redo the impression of the scan. And if you can't and you're running out of time, you put a temporary and tell the patient, I need to book in another appointment so I can finish it properly. This little voice, if you don't kill it and control it early on in your career, it will keep haunting you. Another example, patient booked for 1 hour for an emergency appointment. They have a broken front filling or a front tooth. You talk to them about a crown. They have a deep bite, and you know there's a deep bite, and you know it's going to be very hard to put a crown there unless you trim the opposing. And you know you cannot be bothered talk to them about their deep bite or having some orthodontic treatment or open their video so you can improve their deep bite before you put the single crown, because you're eyeing on this 1 hour appointment. You want to get your crown done in it. The inner voice will tell you, you got an hour, you can do the crown, good production for an hour or 90 minutes, just go ahead and do the crown. And of course you tell the patient at the end, the bite is a bit deep, I had to trim the opposing teeth, I'm gonna make you a nice guard maybe, but hopefully it will work fine. There's a high chance it might break in the future because of the bite. And you cover yourself writing the notes and you write, informs the patient that the bite is very deep and there is a high chance that this crown can fail in the future, and if it fails, to return back to the clinic again. And hopefully they return back to the clinic after you leave the clinic. Well, you have to shut this inner voice and you have to establish discipline. You got an hour. I would temporize and get the patient out of aesthetic problems that they have and spend the other half an hour talking about their bite and raise their concerns and get them to look into a bigger picture. If they go ahead and do the big picture, you can book them and do things more comprehensively. Win-win-win. You're winning by doing something that you'll be proud of, that will last for a long time. Patient is winning, they're spending their money. They might spend more money, but at least they will spend it on something that will last for a long time. and everyone is winning at the end. The lab will be happy with the amount of space they have to do a proper crown, or if you're doing aesthetic in-house, for example. So, but you have to establish discipline. What I find with dealing with a lot of associates, those who cannot establish this level of discipline in the first 2 years, they will never establish it, and they will always run a practice that's heavily based on production and heavily tailored toward doing shortcuts in treatments, and they will always burn out by having patients coming back with problem, and dentistry will become more stressful. So my advice to you in the first 2 years of your career, shut this inner voice. If you're already an experienced dentist, too late. I'm not too optimistic, but I think it will be very hard to shut this inner voice if you're already 10 or 15 years into your practice and you're suffering from patients coming back with problems. You will need some serious intervention by yourself to get this controlled. If you find this information helpful, please like and share. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel so I can provide you with more information. Thank you very much.